This short video, actually I took it from a talk that I was working on, is going to show you how to get housing information from the 1950 census for a large urban area. And a large urban area is defined as 50,000 or more people. So you can get some interesting socioeconomic information about the residences that you are looking for on the 1950 census, which is going to become public on April 1st of 2022. The example that I'm going to show you is a block in Pasadena, California. It had over 100,000 people in 1950. And I chose this block specifically, as you'll see later. This block is within Enumeration District 68-11. And I've already found that number, and you can as well, either from an Enumeration District map, which I will show you later, or from the website of stevemorse.org. It's a website that Steve and I have worked a section of to give you search tools to find enumeration district numbers of the 1950 for the 1950 census just by entering either streets or locations. So here is this block, single block. There are about 20 houses here on Grandview, Iowa, Washington, and Raymond. So that's what we want to find out, how we can get information, housing information on this block. Now, it turns out that the Census Bureau has published 213 pamphlets with that information for cities of over 50,000 or more. It has maps and it has tables. And I'll repeat the bottom link there, that if you go here and you have a city that larger size, you should be able to find a pamphlet that has maps and tables for housing information. You can stop. You can pause this to write down that shortened URL. Now, when I went through all the pamphlets, I found out that 26 were missing maps. Some of them only a single map, some of them had no maps. So I wrote the Census Bureau reference librarians, and they supplied me with all the missing maps that we put as a separate utility at the stevemorse.org website. So that what you would do is you would change the year to 1950, and you can get all the maps in one place, including the ones that are missing from the actual Census Bureau website. To give you an example of the cities in California that have pamphlets, I have a list shown there, and Pasadena, with over 100,000 people, has a pamphlet. So we go into the website, we grab the pamphlet, and it has block statistics. We're not going to see information about individual houses, but we are going to see information about the block. And as part of the Pasadena pamphlet, there are 3 maps. And if we hunt it throughout the map, we eventually will find tract 413. For the tract number is composed of several enumeration districts, and there is block 51, and you can see it's surrounded by Grandview, Iowa, Washington, and Raymond. Now, actually, I could show you that if we did a search on the One Step website and took a look at the scans of the enumeration districts that we have up, we have all of the definition scans up, you would have seen 413 as the tract number in this area. But remember, these are not enumeration district numbers. These are tract numbers and block numbers. So throughout Pasadena, there are a number of, for instance, block number ones. You can see it on the right side that there's a number one block in 413, there's a number one block in 18B, there's a number one block in 18A. So in order to define the block, in this particular case, you need to know the tract number and the block number. Okay, now that we have that, we can look through a series of tables that will show the census tract and block numbers. And you can see why I chose block 51, because it's on the top of this table. I wanted to make it easier and to show you a different way of looking at this table. Here is 413 block 51. There are 20 houses. 13 are owner occupied, 5 are rentals, and maybe the other 2 are as well. The dwelling units, 2 of them are either dilapidated or no private bath. Maybe those are the rentals, not sure. And then we can look at the bottom, number of persons per room. Of the 18 houses, I guess maybe they didn't have more than 1.5 times that in terms of the population. We have a feeling of the racial makeup of the neighborhood. And then we have some interesting information about the average monthly rent of $50 and the average value of the house as reported by 11 people was about $8,700. It would be interesting to look at the value of the houses on this block today. Neat information that you should be aware of, and you might want to add to the information you get when you find your people on the 1950 census. Now there's another way of doing this as well, at least finding the block number, and that's to use the Enumeration District maps. And I want to point out that the National Archive has now on their catalog over 9,000 Enumeration District maps. And to find the Pasadena one, you can see on the right, bottom right, you go to the catalog and you search on 1950 Census Map Pasadena. And you choose the image tabs. The catalog is at catalog.archives.gov. Should be easy to find on a Google search. When you do that, and you eventually find the map, because there may be some other Pasadena maps you will see from various areas, you will see a map that does not look like a conventional map. It has no index, for instance. No index. If we blow up the bottom and looked at the map legend, we see that all ED numbers are preceded by 68. What that means is that when we actually look at the main part of the map, that you're not going to see a double prefix. You're not going to see 68-11. You're just going to see 11. And this may trip up people. But we'll take a look at the map. And I'll tell you, it's a lot easier to find where we're looking for if you knew the ED number to begin with, because you can see the 11 stands out here, while the actual map 50, the block 51, is a little bit harder to figure out to see those boundary streets. So that may be one use, if you do use maps, to still use the one-step website as kind of an index. It makes it easier to find what you're looking for on the map. You notice on the top is 413. There's 413. So this particular block has a specific kind of coordinates, track 413, block 51. So this is another way of finding the block number for the housing schedule pamphlets. All right, I thought that was useful enough to actually have a separate video on. This has been another of my JDW talks. I have YouTube talks on census resources. I have a number now of more than 5 or 6 or something like that, talks on the videos on the 1950 census, talks on Ellis Island, that's my genealogy interests. And then I am a professional retired biologist, a university professor, and I have talks on natural history topics, birding optics, virtual birding field trips, and information about specific bird species. So I hope you take advantage of the various YouTubes I have put online. And with that, I think I will stop this video.